Hello guys, and welcome back.
Ooh, hey guys.
So we're just up here checking on the RV in the storage unit, and we've got like the generator and the heater running in the background to try and warm it up a bit in there because we're gonna head in and we're gonna tell you guys about the apps and the websites that we use this summer to travel around and live in our RV.
Yep, they make RV living a whole lot easier on the road. I think the RV should be warm enough to jump in there. It was -6 as a high right now, and it got down to -13 Celsius last night. So Canadian winters are in effect, but let's jump inside here, guys.
Alright guys, so the RV is a little bit warmed up here, so we're gonna get right into it here. We've got 7 different apps and websites that we would like to share with you because we use these pretty much every single day while we're traveling in the RV.
Yeah, either they make life easier, they can help save some money, or they can help you find a good free camping spot instead of having to wing it yourself, but these are our top picks at least.
So the first one here is one of our most used apps. We use this app pretty much every day to find a free camping spot, and I honestly don't think we would have survived our cross-Canada trip boondocking without this app. So the first one is iOverlander.
I would say this app alone probably found about 80% of our free campsites for us. Definitely one of our main tools in our arsenal.
So basically what this app is good for is opening it up into the map view, and wherever you're wanting to stay, whatever area you're wanting to stay at, you can kind of look on the map and see where some free camping spots are that people have actually inputted. So it's all community based. The community inputs their free camping spots that they've found and writes a little description about it and maybe even post some pictures. A lot of them do have pictures as well. And yeah, you can just kind of go through and look at all of the different free spots around the area. So there's actually so many different submissions on here from different people in the community, and you can definitely always find a spot to stay with this app. When you go into one of the submissions, you can actually see other people's reviews of that campsite as well. So if they say maybe you shouldn't go there unless you have 4-wheel drive, or it's very low clearance, you might want to watch out if you have a high clearance vehicle.
Too many mosquitoes we've seen on there, lots mosquitoes reviews even.
And they also have the coordinates for each location as well. So it's always really easy to find these places because you can just copy the coordinates and put it into like Google Maps or something like that, and it'll take you right there. And it's not just all free campgrounds on the app either. There's also paid campgrounds and things like provincial campgrounds and all that kind of stuff. So if you're looking for something not quite boondocking, you can also find that on the app. And they also have some other random things pinned on the map. Sometimes they have sandy dump stations or spots where you can get free potable water. Just a bunch of random stuff like that.
Laundry even we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And the app is free. This is a free app without even a membership or any kind of subscription, so you could download it and test it just for yourself and your own community even. Just the combination of being able to see where you're going on a map and then having people pinpoint the campsites on there too. You can just look at your route, and if you see one coming up, you can choose to stop there early, read the reviews. It's a good, reliable way to find something when you're on the road constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Our second app that ties into iOverlander is another app called Trucker Path. It's usually used for truckers originally, but it'll let you know if there's Walmarts that you're able to pull into and if they do allow camping overnight. And then if they don't, you can also look for truck stops and other rest areas that all the big semi-trucks use. You know, you can take your RV there at least. The Kamloops Walmart near us, for example, they actually don't allow any overnight parking compared to a lot of the ones in the community. We did indeed use it once and go to the Flying J truck stop just down the road, but iOverlander didn't mention anything about that really, but this app did help us, so when in doubt, Trucker Path is another good option as well.
It's also kind of handy not only for knowing if you're allowed to stay at a Walmart overnight or not, but also if you're traveling down the road and say you want to stop for lunch and you want somewhere kind of nicer to stay for lunch, checking to see what rest areas are on the way is also a really nice thing that you can use on Trucker Path. So number 3 is sandydumps.com. This isn't an app, it's just a website, but it is so useful for when you're traveling on the road, and especially when you're boondocking, because you don't always have the option to dump before you leave your campsite. If you're staying at paid campsites, a lot of times you can use their facilities to dump and get potable water and all that kind of stuff. But if you don't do that, you might be wondering, where the heck am I going to stop to dump my tanks and refill with water? So sandydumps.com has a map view that you can go to, and you can see all of the different sandy dumps in the area, whether they're free, whether they're paid, or whether they're for registered guests of that campground only. So as you can see, there's a ton of options for sandy dumps usually.
Yeah, I would say over the whole summer we probably only had to pay for 2 sandy dump stations in the whole trip. So using this website we were able to find quite a few free ones just going down the road.
So when you're looking at the map view here, you can click on any of the sandy dumps and it'll bring you into the screen where it shows you the details of that sandy dump as well. So it will give you the actual physical address of the sandy dump that you could put into Google Maps and it will take you there. They give you the actual coordinates of the sandy dump, so that's always super handy. And they also usually give you like step-by-step driving instructions on how to get there. So just in case you're lost, you can always check with those directions that they give you and find your way there. And a lot of the time they'll actually give you notes on where exactly the sandy dump is located. So for example, if it says the sandy dump is at the Shell gas station, it'll tell you, okay, it's on the back side of the car wash on the right hand side. So it's really, it makes it really easy to be finding these places and not just kind of walking around wondering what hole do I dump my tanks in.
Yeah.
This actually happened to us quite a few times.
Serious concern.
So in the description as well, it also lets you know whether or not there's potable water available at the sandy dump station. Depending on what type of sandy dump it is, potable water may or may not be available. For example, usually at water treatment stations, they'll have a sandy dump that you can use, but they don't have potable water for you to refill your tanks with. And if it's getting into wintertime, like we had, for example, it lets you know whether the sandy dump is actually open or not. So,
In theory, as long as it's up to date.
In theory, yeah.
But with this website and the iOverlander app, I would say that basically was the bulk of our RV living and traveling across Canada this summer. When you're driving going down the road RVing, use iOverlander and you can find a campsite. We have to dump our tank maybe every 3 to 4 days, and that's not being very conservative with water. So with free camping and free dump stations, that's a good way for RV living, at least for us.
Yeah, you're set to go at that point.
The fourth thing on our list that we're going to talk about is Google Maps. I'm sure all of you have used Google Maps quite a bit, but here's a quick crash course on how we use it for RV living to make it a little easier. Say we're going downtown somewhere, like when we were in Fredericton for Canada Day in New Brunswick. It was right in the downtown core and we knew Canada Day was going to be busy, but we went to the address and looked at it on map view, then turned it into satellite view, and we could actually find a huge open parking lot that we saw just outside of the downtown core area that wouldn't have normally been marked and we would have probably never thought to go into because it was right by some condominiums. After scoping out that in the satellite view, we wanted to go even further though and put it to street view. And from street view you can actually drive around with your arrow keys and look around the perimeter and see what it looks like. I've used that before in the delivery driving days. You can look for signs that say no parking, you can look for other RVs. In this case, for the Canada Day situation, we actually seen another RV in that parking lot and we seen a sign saying RV parking was allowed there. So just by using Google Maps with satellite view and then confirming on street view, we found free, huge parking on the middle of Canada Day in the downtown core, just with a little bit of extra planning. Google Maps has a lot of kind of handy features if you use it well.
And that's just one example. Seriously, Google Maps has saved our butts so many times on our travels. Just because it's so easy to find somewhere that you're able to park, especially in a bigger city. So, as you guys know, we love going to Anytime Fitnesses, and we never know what the parking situation is going to be like at that Anytime Fitness until we head onto Google Maps, go to satellite view, and see if there's a big enough parking lot where we think we'll be able to park.
Or if we just have to go down around the road, if there's a parking lot or maybe a grocery store you can park at, 2 minutes of planning can save you 10 minutes of anxious driving around parking lots trying to find the right spot to park. So, thank you, Google Maps.
And being the navigator, Luke is usually the driver, I'm usually the navigator. I love using Google Maps for directions, obviously. So, finding the right route that we should take, whether it's this highway or this highway to get to our destination. And also, the thing that has honestly saved us so much time is being able to see the live traffic on Google Maps itself. So, for example, when we were in Montreal, we were thinking about driving straight on the highway number 1 through Montreal, but when I plugged that into Google Maps, it says that it was going to take like an hour longer than just taking a different highway around Montreal. So, it seriously saved our butts so much.
Yep.
We love Google Maps. So, the 5th app that we have here is GasBuddy. So GasBuddy actually saves us quite a bit of money on the road. What you're able to do is again go into map view and see all of the different gas prices that have been reported in your area. So say we're going down the road and we're gonna need gas in probably about 100 kilometers. I can hop on the GasBuddy in the passenger seat and just see where on our route is going to be the best option to get gas. Whether it's turning off and taking maybe a 5-minute detour to get gas for maybe 5 cents cheaper per liter, or waiting about 75 kilometers to get to the next town to get a cheaper gas price. So really helpful for when you're on the road.
Especially also when you're going to be crossing either province lines or different state lines. When we left Ontario into Manitoba to start entering into the prairies of Canada, just by crossing over that teeny little difference, there was one gas station here and here, so to speak, but I think we saved, it was roughly 17 cents per liter, so I mean, it can actually make quite a large savings when a gas tank is going to cost you $150 to fill up or something like that.
So on the GasBuddy app as well, they actually have a section where you can calculate and log your vehicle's mileage. So each time we gassed up, I would put in the information and it would tell us how many liters per 100 kilometers we were getting with the RV. And in case you were wondering, with our 23-foot Class C motorhome, the average mileage that we got across Canada was about 23 liters per 100 kilometers, so not that great.
Let us know what yours is out there. I'm curious how everyone else does for fuel efficiency.
Yeah.
I think some Class A's are actually even better with the newer engines, but who knows? So our 6th app we actually really enjoyed using while RV living was Spotify. There's a free version or a paid version where you can skip the ads and all that good stuff, but some people use Sirius Radio like we have in the past, but with Spotify you can find different artists and you can find the best of for that artist, and they have all of their albums and all the best songs in the playlists. You can find kind of top playlists for the genres. You can find other users that make custom playlists for whether you're working out, whether you're driving. It gives you a whole lot more flexibility for music, and it has other features on there as well, like podcasts. Getting through the prairies, I actually went through a 15-hour history podcast on kind of the 500 BC time period, and that was kind of interesting to go through all that, but you can actually get a little bit of knowledge in there as well if you want to listen to music or you want to listen to podcasts, but that was a nice variety to save us while we were driving instead of just listening to the same old radio, or even Sirius Radio actually becomes so repetitive in reality, so that was a lifesaver crossing the prairies in my opinion.
And with Spotify as well, you can also create your own playlist, so you can put all your favorite music into one playlist and hit shuffle. And with the amount of time that we spend driving, we listen to a lot of music and it gets really boring.
Yeah.
So what we like to do is actually put on the radio. So on the Spotify app, you can make a radio station for your playlist, you can make a radio station for an artist, and it will play similar songs to that song so you can find new music, which is always really fun. And with that said as well, you can also download playlists, so if you don't have Wi-Fi or if you're out of service, that type of thing, you can always listen to your music on the go.
All around, I would say it's probably the best provider we've come across yet in terms of either music or podcasts, so I mean, definitely worth it when you're driving and camping out in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, and our 7th and last app is YouTube Premium. So this has actually just recently been available in Canada, and we actually just subscribed when we started our RV adventure because what we really love about YouTube Premium is you can download videos and watch them later. So a lot of the time when we're camping, we're obviously not in a Wi-Fi range, so we can't be watching our favorite YouTube videos or just anything really. So it's really nice to be able to download those videos and save them for when we're out of cell phone range or out of Wi-Fi.
Yeah, up in Canada we have really bad cell phone and Wi-Fi as it is a lot of the time. And when you think about how much internet a YouTube video can normally use, being able to pre-download that whether you're at the gym or if you're at your house and you're going out for a weekend trip, now you can just download a whole bunch of YouTube videos. Maybe you want RV cooking meals. Maybe Alysha makes a cooking video you want to watch when you're out on the campsite. You can download it that way as well. So that's been super handy for us.
So YouTube Premium is about $12 a month in Canada here. We find that to be incredibly worth it just to download the videos to watch them later. But another added bonus is we don't get any more YouTube ads. So that's always nice to be able to skip the ads, not have to watch them, and just watch what we want.
Between Spotify and YouTube, we got all of the shows we want to watch, all of the audio when we're driving. We're pretty well taken care of.
Yeah, our entertainment needs are fulfilled. Alright, so those are our top 7 apps that we use while we're traveling in our RV, and seriously, we use them all pretty much every day.
Yeah, I'm sure some of them you've heard before, but maybe a few things like the Google Maps, you may learn a few tips and tricks you hadn't heard before, and I mean, using these kind of couple apps here, it'll make your RV living so much easier, and I mean, we didn't have much problem crossing Canada as all as new RVers, and definitely helped us a lot.
Anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. If you found the video useful, please give us a like down below, and also leave a comment on what your favorite app is when you're on the road.
Yeah, maybe there's some we haven't heard of, and they might want them, because we have a big 2020 coming, guys. Anyways, until next week, we will catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and take care out there.
See ya!
Bye.